Alright guys, welcome back. We are playing Higurashi When They Cry. Chapter 6, Tsumihoroboshi. Last time, well, we went to the dump, went to the garbage dump, and we hung out like the trash we are. And we learned about Summerina's past, her parents and everything. God, there's something on my... Okay. Um, it's very sad. It's just the whole situation with her parents, her mother, everything. I don't know. God, and her father, I feel bad for him, but he also has hit her multiple times, seemingly. So that's not good. I don't know, everything sucks. Everything sucks. And, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't even know. Well, what was the tip again? Oh, yeah, I remember. The tip was me being stupid. That's what the tip was. Right. Okay. Let's continue. The storm is brewing.
Oh, 来た来た。
We're back to Keiichi.
おはよう、レナ。
I wonder if that's how it's gonna be, if we're gonna start all of the sub-chapters with Keiichi and then go to Rena. Who knows?
今日はケイチ君の方が早かったね。
God. I feel so bad for Rena.
普段を棚にあげるわけじゃないが、俺が朝の待ち合わせでレナに勝つなんて珍しいことも
Well,
あるもんだぜ。
she stayed up real late last night.
レナ、今朝はちょっとお寝坊した。夕べ寝つかれなくってね。
レナもか？実は俺もなんだよ。
It seems like, I guess, something about Rena that I'm not sure on, right? Is like her whole thing about happiness and all of that, right? It's like she worries so much about the idea of happiness leaving her, all of this stuff, right? Like, it is sad to me that she feels like that, and it's like it feels like she's unable to talk to anyone about it, right? She doesn't talk to her friends about it. She doesn't, because I guess it would be like introducing it into the, it's like maybe she feels like if she tried to talk to anyone about it, it would like, it would accelerate the end of the happy days, But I would just want to think that it's like the way Keiichi has always been able to talk to her about stuff, right? We've had so many scenes where Keiichi has talked to Rena about like very specific emotional problems. And like even Mion, right? With Rena in like chapter 2. And it feels like Rena can't bring herself to like be open like that with her feelings with her friends, because I guess she can't be open with that with her feelings with herself either, right? Telling herself to like not even think about the idea of not being happy, of being unhappy now in Hinamizawa. What do you do now?
昨日の大騒ぎの余韻がずーっと残っててさ、布団に入っててもなかなか眠くならなくて、
was
夜が長く感じたぜ。
very different for her, but yesterday I had a lot of fun with my friends and went home still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. I was so pumped up that I couldn't go to sleep. Kinda sounds like I'm a little kid. But, given that Rena seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. Oh, but hers is so different. No, I felt better isn't the right way of phrasing it. I should say I'm glad to know that we shared the same feeling. Huh. Rena went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things, went home, and talked with her parents about how great the day was. God, if only, right? That's really like the vibe that Rena gives off, you know what I mean? Like, but it's so different.
あ、みーちゃんだ。おはよう。
おお、ミオンが先に待ってるなんて、今日は雪が降るかも
Oh,
な。
true. I better not actually be Shion. I'm
先に待ってりゃ、そういうこと言うわけ？
terrified.
それを言ったら、私より先に待ってたケイチ君も珍しいよ。雪が降るかもね。
Full of miracles. Indeed. The incoming rain might be a miracle
人
even.
のこと言えないね。
I guess it already rained. It's going to be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday. So I'm going to have fun today for sure. I'm happy, and Mion is happy too. Of course, Rena and my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say it, and I wish these happy days would last forever. Interesting.
なあミオン、 今日は何をして遊ぼうな。
今日の部活？何がいいだろうね。レナは提案ある？
そうだね。昨日おとといと体を使うゲームが続いたから、
Good old card game. Good old card
ゲー
game.
ムがいいな。
Perhaps.
そうだな。レナの言うのも一理あるぜ。部活は肉体勝負だけが全てじゃねえだろ。
もちろん心技体全ての要素において完璧であってこそ部活メンバーだからね。
Absolutely.
じゃあ今日は何かテーブルゲームで遊ぶことにしよう。
What would be a thematically relevant game right now? I don't know, the game of life. Everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. They told me that the festival was called Watanagashi, and that it's the biggest event of the year in Hinamizawa.
そうだそうだ。昨日沖宮の家に親類が集まっていろいろと話が出たんだけどさ、ケイちゃんの話題が出たんだよ。
俺？園崎家の重鎮が集まって一体何の相談だよ。
What did he do, huh?
いやさ、昨日のエンジェルモートでのケイちゃんの活躍を見てた店長の吉郎おじさんがさ、ケイちゃんのことを相当気に入っちゃったみたいでさ。
And maybe Keiichi can get a job as a waitress there, right? Maybe.
それで
I bet he would
いろ
enjoy
いろ
it.
と話を聞いてみたら、他の親類も意外にケイちゃんのことを知ってる人が多いんだよね。
Keiichi very much makes himself known.
南沢の名物男みたいな言われようだったよ。
Can't blame him.
名物男ってのはまた微妙な称号だな。その称号の9割方はミオンの罰ゲームに関係があるような気がするぞ。
Perhaps.
それだけじゃないけどさ、ノリもいいし元気があって無鉄砲なところも今時の若い子にしては感心とみんなベタ褒めだったよ。
I felt a bit embarrassed to know that people I haven't even met were speaking well of me.
でね、今後の渡流しのお祭りで何かで活躍してくれないかなって話が出てね。ケイ
Interesting.
ちゃん目立つこととか好きでしょ？
He's gonna be the court jester at Watanagashi.
おい本人不在で勝手に話を進めるな。俺は孤独と静寂を愛するロンリーガイだぜ。
I know you aren't, Keiichi. That's so funny. That's so funny because it's like, you know, like in chapter 3, it's like Keiichi did kind of used to be like this, or he like thought of himself like this, right? I still think there's that whole like conflict between the way Keiichi acts now compared to the way like he was like when he lived in the city and all that, and I think that creates like it's like a conflict in Keiichi's mind in a way. I think he genuinely kind of thinks of himself like that.
ロンリーガイだ。チェリーボーイの間違いでしょ？
What does that mean?
チェリーってなんだろう。
What is it?
ケイチくん、チェリーボ
Am I gonna have to Google it? Is someone? Are they not gonna tell me what it means?
年頃の娘どもが
All right.
パッパラから
What does cherry boy mean? God damn it, Mion. What are you making me look up? Cherry boy. Male virgin. Well, sure. I guess that's probably accurate. It's probably, yeah, seems about right. I don't know. We really were still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Mion and I made a lot of noise teasing each other on the way to school. Rena watched us and laughed happily. Sadako and Rika-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were too. From that, I can tell they also had a good time yesterday. Well, Rika is certainly going through it, huh? Everybody's been having a good time, really. Rika and Rena need to have a talk. I think that they have a shared struggle, in a way, I think, like emotionally. Everybody has been having a good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everybody is happy. Oh, well, I don't know about that.
まだ引っ越してきて1年も経ったわけじゃないけどさ。
どうしたの突然？
いやさ、ひなみ沢に引っ越してきて俺幸せになったなって。
Of course. I'm glad you moved here too, Keiichi.
どうしたのケイちゃん、急に臭いこと言い出して。
レナにはわかるよ。
Hmm.
ひなみ沢に引っ越してきてすべてが幸せになった気持ちよくわかる。
Of course, she would understand, right?
この村にはね、 きっと
Ooh.
人を幸せにする魔法がかかってるんだと思うから。
I don't think it's something special about Hinamizawa exactly, but it's probably something special about just the general vibe around here, right? Like, just being able to socialize with people and stuff. So different than a city, right? So the isolation that you can feel in like a big city, you
レナ
know?
は幸せか？
Oh, God.
レナはひなみ沢に引っ越してきてからが毎日幸せだよ。
Interesting. Saying I'm happy here every day, I feel like has a different vibe to it than the idea of being happy, like broadly, you
そう
know?
だな。そいつは俺もだ。
ちょっとなんかおじさんだけのけ者っぽくない？ブーブー。
I'd say you're happy then. Come on. The sky was clear, and the few thin clouds were pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. Watanagashi is just around the corner. I'm sure we'll have great fun at the festival too. There will be more and more fun days to come, I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner. Oh, back to Rena. The last class of the day was finally over, meaning it was time for club activities. I was sure it would be fun. I couldn't wait. But then Michan received a call and told us something had come up and she had to go. So, we didn't have a club meeting today. Aww. I was really looking forward to it. There's nothing I could do, but I could at least chat with Keiichi-kun on the way home. It'll be fun. The way home... Keiichi-kun sometimes says mean things, but he's very funny. When I chat with him, my depression goes away. Aww. Wait, what did I just say? Yeah, am I depressed? I have so much fun every day, and I'm as happy as I can be. What did I have to be depressed about? Well, not how depression works, unfortunately. Not how it works. You can have everything in the world and still be depressed, right? Sadly. Well, it was obvious. Because of Rina-san, my father is happy now. Before he met her, he was like a lamp in broad daylight. Honestly, he was like the living dead, like a lamp in broad daylight. Man, that is such a way to think about it, such an analogy to use, huh? Like, just drowned out completely by his surroundings, you know? But after he met Rina-san, he started to smile like he used to when he was living with my mother. He enjoyed talking with her and started going out with her. I wonder, like... It's clear to me that Rina has conflicting feelings about it, of course. But I wonder why. I wonder what it is about Rina that makes her feel like that, you know? What it is about their relationship. She calls her Reina, which is not... I don't like that, but so does her father still, right? You could probably say they went on dates. No, now he looks 10, no 20 years younger. Rina-san gets along with my father very well, and she's very kind to me too. It's also, I guess, the fact that it's like, you know, Rina herself couldn't have brought her father that happiness, right? Rina had to come in and do it, you know, and that's kind of the conflict as well, right? There's actually no reason for me to hate her. But the bitter memories of my parents' divorce and my many regrets were gradually eating away at my heart. I'm sure, yeah, like, seeing him, it has to have this, like, sense of finality, or like this, I don't know. There just has to be this weird feeling about it, right? Seeing your father with another person now. Was it okay to accept that woman? Rina-san might be the same as how Uncle Akihito turned out to be. Yeah, right. Is she the enemy who takes my happiness away with her very existence? With or without bad intentions? Am I going to sit around until everything collapses again? Should I fight the enemy before it's too late? Rina-san comes to my house a little too obviously. Since my father started letting her stay the night, many of her belongings have turned up in the house. My father and I don't smoke, but there's an ashtray in the living room. Ooh. The futon in our guest room is hers now. In the bathroom, there's a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. I started to feel awkward about these things, and that's when I started noticing it at the front door when I came home from school. Because part of her wanting to return to Hinamizawa was wanting to return to those happy days that she had as a child, right? The time when she said she was happiest. So I guess now, this represents like such a change from that life in Hinamizawa, right? Rina showing up. That I feel like that alone would probably cause like a lot of like, just like vague discomfort that she probably doesn't even understand, you know? Because in a way, it's like, it's such a... it's such a big thing for her. Everything that happened with her and her parents, all of that, you know. And this is like what you could think of this in a way as being like probably not her father moving on exactly, but maybe in a sense, right? Just things changing, right? It's just such a change, you know. Her perfume. Ooh. I asked my father once if he was thinking about getting married to Reina-san. He looked a little embarrassed, perplexed, and confused. He told me not yet. He knew I was hurt by the divorce. That's probably why he couldn't admit that he wanted to remarry. Interesting. That's why he said, not yet. He'd consider it, but not while I was still living with him. Oh, so now it's like she's an obstacle, or she could think of herself as an obstacle. That's what he meant, I guess. There's only one reason why I don't want him to get remarried to Rina-san. I feel offended that my sanctum, my family, is being invaded. Yeah. I might be selfish, though. I know keeping my father all to myself means keeping him miserable like he was before he met Rina-san. He has a life to live too. It's his right to heal from the pain from the divorce and to live, to find his new love. He wouldn't have had to go through that painful life if I'd prevented the divorce from happening in the first place. Impossible. Right, impossible. This impossible responsibility that she thinks she owes, you know? He was right to be God, he has a right to a happy new life that lets him forget the pain he never deserved, and I don't have any right to stop him. The pain he never deserved. What does Rena think about that pain that she feels, though? In fact, I have an obligation to try and return his happiness to him. Turn his happiness to him, like happiness that she stole, right, through like all of the stuff that happened with her mother and Akihito and all that. I have to pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. God. Then, what should I do to make both of us happy? It wouldn't be that difficult. All I need to do would be to give her my silent approval of their relationship. My father tells me he won't get remarried while we live together. That means I should stop leaning on my family, be strong, and live on my own as soon as I can. Yeah, she thinks she's an obstacle to his happiness, so she has to leave as soon as possible. So sad. Although, that doesn't mean I can tell him not to go out with her until that day. That has to be part of why she's doing this too. Why she doesn't want to go home, why she just hangs out at the dump all day. Rina-san comes to her house to see him despite her busy schedule, and she even stays the night whenever her shifts permit. They're adults. I have no right to say anything against that. That's why I chose to give my silent approval to their relationship, and tried to see her as little as I could. Oh god, that is not... I get along with Rina-san on the surface. I know my father would have a hard time keeping face if we did it. But it's a very exhausting and painful thing to get along with a person I don't really like. So, whenever Rina-san comes over, I spend as little time as possible outside, then head home late. I spend as much time as possible outside, then head home late. Why did I say as little? Hello? Michan's club activities are the most convenient things to do to kill time. But there are some days we don't have a club meeting. On those days, I while away my time at the garbage dump, hunting for treasure alone. I mean, there's no way, like... the real problem here, I guess, is that Rena doesn't feel comfortable at home when Rina is there, right? That is the real problem, right? It's like she's justifying what she's doing, her wanting to avoid being home and all of that, with this idea that she's doing it for her father and that she's, you know, somehow approving their relationship by never being there, which is just this like justification of her own actions and her own feelings about it, in order to like avoid admitting that she's like unhappy with it, and to, you know, obviously from like her father's perspective, it has to be. She's never home, right? She avoids home as much as possible whenever Rina's there. Like, that doesn't look right, obviously, right? And that's where I started to make my secret hideout. My father can do whatever he wants with Rina-san at home. I don't have to see them together. I can spend my time peacefully at my hideout. Yeah, it's like she wants Rina to replace her, right? That she thinks that there's no room for her there, you know? I sometimes feel depressed about my life. I sometimes want to talk to somebody about it. But nothing will change, even if I talk to somebody. Oh, you should, though. You can't. You can talk to Keiichi, you can talk to Mion, right? It's sad that you feel like you can't. It's very sad that you feel like you can't. This is all I can really do. The most important thing for me should be to overcome the sadness of losing my family as fast as I could, and to regain my own happiness. Losing her family. She thinks she's just lost everyone, I guess, right? Like, I have so much fun every day. I'm happy every day. Even on the way home, Keiichi-kun was talking about funny things that made me laugh. My feeling gloomy in spite of that was kind of rude. Rude? It's not rude to have feelings. My father should be happy. I should be happy. I just feel sad because I can't separate from my father, because I still can't separate from my father. Compared to the unexpectedness of the divorce, Rina-san's invasion is a very slow process. Invasion. I think Rina-san understands how I feel. She treats me very kindly, but she doesn't do more than that. I think she understands that I'd feel uncomfortable if she did. I respect Rika-chan, because she's strong even without her parents. Oh. I mean, she's suffering so much, though. Compared to the pain of losing both her parents unexpectedly, my problem is like nothing. Well, it's God. Rena, girl. You're so... She minimizes all of her own feelings, everything about herself. She just, like... Man. Just minimizes everything about her own feelings, and... It's like she thinks she doesn't even deserve to, like, talk to someone about it. She doesn't even deserve to have these feelings. She doesn't deserve to even have a family or a place in it, or any of this, you know? I guess it all just comes from her thinking it was all her fault that they got divorced, and that it's all... You know, like... God. I respect Sadako-chan's toughness, too. She also lost her parents, and was forced to live a painful life under her uncle and aunts. Compared to the cruel treatment she had to go through, my relationship with Rina-san is a blessed one. But that's just not how it works, right? Just because other people have suffered doesn't mean that you have no... you know? If anything, you should be able to talk to, like, Ruka and Sadako, or, like, you know? I keep feeling anxious, but that's just because I'm still immature, and because I feel like I'm not ready to separate from my father. Because you're not, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel like you have to, right? It has nothing to do with immaturity. It has nothing to do with... Man. I have to be strong like Rika-chan and Sadako-chan. I have to try my best to be happy. But it's like we've seen for Rika and Sadako what being strong looks like for them. And how awful it is, right? If being strong means that you bottle up all of your emotions and suffer horribly forever, what's the point in being strong, right? Like, what would be like... Man. I'm going to live with all my might in order to regain the peace of mind that I lost that day. My assumption that I'm not happy is just a mistake. I should appreciate the wonderful days I spend with my wonderful friends. Just by realizing that I'm happy, the world shines so brightly.
それでね、あんまりにも可愛いから、レナ、お持ち帰りって。
やれやれ。レナは毎日を楽しく過ごすことに関しては達人だな。
Indeed.
レナは毎日が楽しいよ。こんなにも素敵な友人たちに囲まれて過ごす、こんなにも素晴らしい日々があって、どうして不幸が感じられる？
Man.
だな。
And yeah, it's like Keiichi agreeing with her. Makes it so much worse, right? Not that Keiichi, because Rena's saying that. Rena's saying, like, how could I possibly be unhappy, right? It's almost like she wants an explanation for how she could be. And Keiichi just says, yeah, well, how could you be, right?
不幸なんかここにはないよ。いつまでも楽しくて、不幸なことなんかとは一切無縁。
Man.
それがひなみ沢ってとこなんだからよ。
Hinamizawa is free from misfortunes, and what she's gonna take from that then is that she must be the problem, right? He should have stopped right there, but he just kept going.
レナが羨ましいよな。その悩み知らずな能天気さが羨ましいぜ。
If only, right?
バカにされてるっぽい気がする。でも毎日が楽しいなら、私は能天気でもいいかな。
Yeah.
かな。
I don't have any worries. I feel like I do, but that's just because I'm immature and still want my father's attention. Oh, God. Come on. Say the magical words. It'll cheer you up.
Huh?
It didn't make sense to say it now, but I was going to say it anyway, because this is my magical phrase that always cheers me up.
お持ち帰り。
Taking what home with you? Your happiness? If only you could, right? If only you could.
なんだよ突然。でもそれでこそレナだぜ。
That's right. This is me, Rena. I'm not Reina. Reina still wants her parents' attention. Rena is a goofy and carefree girl. She knows that every day is full of happiness, and she still has the kind heart to appreciate it too. I should forget about icky things. I should live a wonderful life, free of anything icky. Icky starts with I. That's why I got rid of the I in Reina. Jesus. In Reina, sorry. Man. I'm Rena. I'm going to recapture the happiness I lost when I left Hinamizawa. I will overcome any pain and hardship. I can be happy, because I got rid of the icky things. I'm sure there were only incredible things waiting for me. Oh, incredible starts with I too. Oh. Man. Yeah. I was almost home, and when my house appeared, I noticed something was there. There's a truck parked in front of my house. Ooh. There's nothing on the back of it, but I could tell it brought something here, because I saw some cardboard boxes, blankets, and ropes on the ground. Is Rena moving in more permanently? Is this like Rena's stuff? From the front of the house, I heard voices of two young men saying, "Well, we'll be going now." They passed me by as I walked towards the front door. They were wearing some kind of work uniforms. They looked like delivery people. My father was about to close the door when he noticed me.
ただいま。何かあったの？
おかえり、レイナ。見てごらん、すごいぞ。
My father looked to be in a good mood. I didn't know why he was, but whenever he smiled like that, I just wanted to smile back at him. His eyes used to look like those of a dead fish, no matter how hard I tried to smile at him, and she blames herself for not doing enough. But these days, he could put on a big smile just to surprise me. He has been literally coming back to life since a year ago when we moved back to Hinamizawa. No, since he started dating Rina-san. When I see him smile like this, I'm happy. But at the same time, I feel confused because I don't know whether I should thank Rina-san or not. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with all this Rina stuff, right? Is like, she is, I don't know how real this relationship is to her. Just because of, like, we know all we know what her job is, and her connection to Teppei, and all, you know, all that stuff, right? It's like, does Rina think of this as, like, a real thing, right? How would Rina feel if her father and Rina stopped seeing each other? It was, you know, like, I don't know, I don't know.
ほら、す
Wait, let me
ご
read
い
that
だろ
line。again? Okay. He took me to the living room. He was probably expecting me to go all ooh and ah. So, whether there was something in the living room or not, I was ready to go ooh and ah for him.
はあ、何これ？どうしたのお父さん？
I tried to sound excited and surprised. He was standing behind me, probably smiling with satisfaction at hearing my excited voice. God, it's so... How she has to like fake it. She has to fake all of her positive emotions, right? Because she's so... I, on the other hand, was desperately trying to understand what was going on. For a moment, I thought I was in someone else's house. You see, the living room had been completely redecorated. Oh, God. The furniture we had was all basically from the former house in Ibaraki. My parents bought most of the furniture when they got married, so it was all old and a little dirty. Some of them still had crayon scribbles I drew when I was very little. Oh, and it's all gone now? But all of that was gone. Everything in the living room had turned a pastel color, looking very sophisticated like the rooms you'd see in soap operas. The new carpet looked very tropical. The new curtains matched with the carpet. The new sofa looked very expensive. The living room, in general, looked like a resort hotel. The channel switcher of our old TV was broken, and we used to have to use pliers to change channels, but it was gone too, replaced by a new one with a big screen. The room's lights had also been replaced by nicer looking ones. The living room looked like a totally different world under the new fluorescent lights.
すごいねお父さん。
How does she feel about that, right? It's been completely changed, completely transformed, in her absence, you know?
これはどうしたの？
I assume something with Rina, right?
心機一転さ。
Get a fresh
もう
start.
引っ越してきて1年にもなるんだから、お父さんもそろそろ気分を切り替えて、
Oh,
新しい生活に踏み出さないとなって思ったんだよ。
how is she gonna feel about that? I suggested redecorating the house once in order to cheer him up, because he was still in a pain after the divorce. But he wasn't interested at the time. He didn't want to get rid of the old furniture he had chosen with my mother, because he still couldn't get over her, even though she cruelly broke up with him. I wanted to suggest it again when the time was right. I never thought he'd do it on his own initiative, or was it
そう
Rina?
だね。こんな綺麗なお部屋 屋だと心も晴れ晴れするもんね。
Does it?
素敵なお部屋だと思うよ。
Do you?
いいだろう。ほらレーナ、お前ユリースに憧れてたろ。まだ組み立ててないけど、ほらちゃんとあるんだぞ。
はう、お父さんすごいすごいすごい。これ私がもらってもいいのかな。
こらこら、それはみんなの共用のものだから、レ
Sure.
ーナだけってわけじゃないんだぞ。
共用でもレナが占領しちゃうからダメ。
My father explained the details of his redecoration proudly. He told me that he only did the living room this time, but he's going to redecorate all of the rooms. He sure had become more active. There were some parts about the redecoration I didn't like, but I still thought it was great because it made him happy. I found the old furniture outside in the yard. Oh,
捨て
man.
ちゃうの？
But how does she... I don't know. I don't know how she feels about that. I really don't know how she feels about that, right? Because it feels like she... There are these connections to her mother and to this old life that she wanted to move away from as well, right?
まあこの際だと思ってな。後で業者が引き取りに来てくれることになってる。
Huh. I wonder, are they gonna put them all at the dump? at the damn site? Getting rid of the old furniture means putting an end to my mother. I hated the furniture because it smelled like my mother, and I tried to break everything once. I understand why my father wants to take this opportunity to get rid of them, but for some reason, this new living room makes me feel like I no longer belonged here. Yeah. My father didn't choose the new furniture. Rina-san probably did. Most likely, my father and Rina-san decided to redecorate the living room and went to a furniture store to buy everything. I tried to think positively. The reason why my father didn't tell me about the redecoration was because he wanted to surprise me. No, my father never really considers things that deeply. So, I suppose he didn't tell me because he just didn't think he needed to tell me. I'm sure he didn't redecorate the living room to make me feel like I was no longer welcome. Well, yeah, right? It's so sad that she even thinks that, right? God, I mean, her whole attitude about her dad. I guess we don't know her dad very well, right? The things we do know about him aren't great, frankly. There's no way that's it, though, right? I just... Of course not, right? Don't be negative, Rena. My father didn't have any bad intentions. He doesn't want to get rid of me. He doesn't think I'm the reason he can't get remarried. And yet, why did I feel sad looking at the old furniture in the yard? Why did I feel like I didn't belong? I realized the reason right away. The reason was me. To him, wanting to have a fresh start by getting rid of the things that remind him of my mother might be an indication of his unconscious desire to get rid of her daughter. Jesus, Rena, girl. Oh, Rena. Honey. Sweetie. Girl, come on. She's gonna think of herself as an enemy. My father doesn't really consider things deeply, so he might not be thinking that I'm the reason he can't get remarried. But he understands that he can't get remarried while we live together. No, he doesn't think that, right? Or if he does, he's an idiot, right? And I just don't believe that at all. It's just not true, right? By staying with him, I'm torturing my father. It was my fault that he had to get a divorce. That's why I have to support him, to help recapture his happiness. Jesus Christ, Rena, come on. I couldn't just keep him all to myself. I have to start thinking about living on my own. I don't need to go to university. I should think about getting a job. But who would hire an uneducated girl like me to... I wish she would talk to someone so badly. Even if somebody did hire me, I wouldn't be able to earn enough money to live on my own. Maybe I should think about working at a hostess club, like Rina-san does. People only choose the jobs they can. A girl like me doesn't have a lot of choices. Not a lot of companies would hire me or pay the amount of money that I'd need to live on my own. Well, you could go live in the car at the dam site. Jesus, girl. She's incapable of relying on other people. She's completely unable to, you know? Like, she really does think of herself as an enemy, like, for other people, right? Like, her whole enemy thing, you know? She absolutely does, right? But, come to think of it, where's the place where I belong? Whenever I end up feeling like this, I miss my secret hideout in the trash piles. Yeah. I love to get under my blankets and feel the warmth on a cold night. The hideout gets hot and humid during the day and very cold at night. It's not a very comfortable place to spend time in. but it might be a place where I can relax the most. More than I can say at my house. More than I can at my house. No, I shouldn't think like this. I shouldn't think that my house has been invaded by Rina-san. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rina. I should thank her for making my father happy. Rina-san isn't trying to kick me out of the house. She's trying to get along with me. But I'm not opening my heart to her. I'm the bad one. I'm the bad one. Oh, there's just no way for her to think of it in a way that doesn't lead her back to that. Either she thinks that she's doing bad by not, like, opening her heart to Rina and like, engaging this relationship perfectly, or she thinks she's bad by existing here at all and that she should just disappear, right? Like... And I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Sachikun and his aunts didn't get along at all, and she abused him for a long time. Compared to him, my situation is a lot easier. Sadako-chan and Rika-chan lost their parents, and they live together now. They've been through very hard times. On the other hand, I still live with my father. I should feel blessed. I shouldn't think I'm unhappy just because of these things. I am happy. I am blessed. The trouble with me is that I still can't admit that I'm happy. Can't admit that I'm happy. God. My father kept talking proudly about the redecoration. I nodded at him with a big smile and let him keep at it. I'm just so... Man. God, it's so rough. It's so rough. Just this, like... Man.
そうだ、いけない。レイナ、すまないんだが、ちょっとお使いを頼めないか？
お使い？うん、いいよ。
お父さんな、ジャケットを2着ほど洋服屋さんに取り寄せさせてるんだ。
Okay.
それがな、今日届くらしいんだ。ちょっとお父さんは回収業者さんを手伝わなきゃならないから、レイナが代わりに取ってきてくれないか？
Interesting.
いいよ。お店を教えて。どんなジャケットを取り寄せたんだろう。
In Okonomiya, I
楽
assume.
しみ。
No matter what they look like, I'm sure Rina-san picked them out for him. Although I don't mind going. I'd rather go to the store than listen to his stories about the redecoration of our living room. God. I got the receipts, asked him where the store is, changed my clothes, and left the house. I started pedaling my bicycle and looked at the old furniture in the yard for the last time. They used to be the object of my hatred, but for some reason, they now made me feel sentimental. Is it because I still regret the loss of my mother, even though I hate her? Partially, I'm sure. I couldn't let poisonous emotions take over my heart. Poisonous emotions. I understood that in my mind, I just couldn't get rid of that feeling. I guess it's, I understand thinking of it as poisonous, right? Because it's like if she opens her heart to the idea that she still regrets it, and that she, you know, that she misses her in any way at all about what happened, right? Then, yeah, it'll hurt, right? It'll hurt. The old furniture wasn't the only stuff that was kicked out of the house. Did I read that line? I understood that in my mind, but I just couldn't get rid of that feeling. The old furniture wasn't the only stuff that was kicked out of the house. There's also a lot of junk that I brought home from the landfill. Oh no! My father is probably going to throw that away too. He doesn't like the junk I collect. He'll probably let the delivery company take it all together with the old furniture. The junk she collects. Just like an animal that rubs its scent on its home in order to feel secure, I collected all that junk in order to make sure that I could stay here. Oh, God. No, that's not it. I wanted to bring them to my house because they were abandoned by their former owners. And they needed a place to live. That's why she always says, yeah, I'll want to take it home, right? God, that has such a different meaning to it now, right? Her saying that she wants to, like, take Rika and Sadako home, take her friends home, take these things in her life that do make her happy and are so, like, meaningful to her. She wants to take it home, because of course she does, because her home right now isn't a place where she feels, like, happy and comfortable and safe, right? So it's like, if she could bring her friends home, these things home that she, you know, does connect with and does feel, like, comfortable with in some way, then, like, yeah, of course. The store where my father ordered the jackets from is a fancy boutique. It's hard to believe my father would shop at a store like this on his own. I could tell right away that Rina-san took him here. I handed over his receipt to the cashier. A short time later, the store manager came out wearing a perplexed look.
リュウグ様、大変申し訳ございません。実は入荷のトラックが高速で事故渋滞に巻き込まれているようでございまして。
I see.
おそらくはもうじき到着すると思うのですが。
Excuse to hang around in Okonomiya, I guess. He said that the driver called a while ago. Told him he just got off the highway and would be here in about an hour. You know what else I want? Since I just thought, because we're in Okonomiya right now, it made me think of Shion. I want Ren to talk to Shion too. That would be big. Because that's another thing. Her feelings about her family and all of that. That's another thing that I feel like Shion would I don't even know, have something to say about, I guess, right? Like, I suppose that it's, like, something she can kinda, like, relate to in a way, right? And, like, I don't know. I just want Rena to talk to someone, I guess. I didn't need to know all the details, but he explained them to me anyway. I asked him if I should come back tomorrow. He insisted that I should wait, because the truck would be coming shortly, and he urged me to take a seat on their sofa. But I didn't really feel comfortable waiting here, so I told him I'd be back soon, and left the store. I wondered if there were any fast food restaurants nearby. I might have to go all the way back to the station. I looked around and found a coffee house. The glass on the door was black, so I couldn't see inside. I'm terrified. Owishi's gonna be inside. I'm horrified. Coffee makes me think of Owishi. But there was a poster saying the price for a cup of tea is lower than normal for women on weekdays. I'd just be going to get a cup of tea to kill some time. It should be okay. But still, I hesitated to go inside before opening the door. Interesting. Her first impression of the coffee house was the smell of cigarettes. Oh. I see. It's normal for coffee houses to be filled with cigarette smoke. It's like a requirement. But Rena still regretted her decision. Who is our narrator right now, huh? While she was thinking about leaving, the proprietor spoke to her brusquely and showed her to a table. Rena gave up on the idea of leaving and sat down. The atmosphere in the shop was far from a clean, normal coffee house where you would go to simply enjoy coffee and cigarettes. It was more like a place where vulgar people would hang around. Owishi is gonna be here. Rena didn't feel comfortable at all, but what bothered her most was the laughter of a man and woman sitting together at the very back of the shop. Her table was behind a planter, so depending on how one looked at it, one could say she was in the spot most protected from their laughter. But Rena looked as though she wanted to leave as soon as she finished her tea. The bell hanging from the entry store rang, letting her know a customer just came in. It was a little surprising to her that a coffee shop like this could draw in so many customers. Rena peeked at the newcomers from behind the planter. There were two of them. They looked like vulgar men, the kind of people you didn't want to get involved with the instant you saw them. The proprietor tried to show them to a table, but they ignored him and walked towards the back. They walked up to the couple who had been laughing loudly and greeted them with a bow. Oh god, it's Teppei. It's not Teppei and Rina, is it? I was like, could she run into Rina here with someone else? The couple stopped laughing, and the man told the newcomers to sit down in a threatening tone of voice. As instructed, the two of them took a seat. The reason why Rina was murdered in chapter 3 was the whole, like, it was like the Yakuza thing with the Sonozakis, all that, like, stuff, right? Has that not, like, unfolded yet? Is that going to happen? Is Rina just gonna get murdered in this chapter? The same way she did in chapter 3? I don't know. The two of them looked at each other before they each took an envelope out of their pockets and put it on the table. The man roughly grabbed the two envelopes and tore one of them open. Inside, there were many wrinkled 10,000 yen bills bound into a bundle with a rubber band. He opened the other one to make sure it also had cash in it, and then threw it to the woman. Oh, it sure is. It sure is Rina. Yeah, because he's like Teppei's like... Yeah, we know about the whole situation there, yeah. The man yelled at the woman. She licked her thumb, looking annoyed, and started counting the cash expertly. The two newcomers hung their heads while she counted. It's very interesting. We're outside of Rena's head right now for this, right? Like, huh. Lighting a cigarette, the man waited for her to finish counting. The woman said that after flicking through the last bill. The newcomers looked relieved. The man, however, didn't look satisfied as he stared at the bundle of bills the woman was holding. Ritsuko. Is that her... Huh. Okay. Oh, the interest. The man and Ritsuko yelled at each other. Even though they were making all that noise, the other customers acted like they didn't hear anything. 2 million. Jesus. The two of them were trying to find some excuses to make. It seemed like this behavior had touched the man's nerves, as he started looking furious. Great, great. Good old Teppei. His angry voice echoed through the shop. He hit the table hard and dropped a glass on the floor. The noise thickened the tension in the atmosphere. Oh god. It's interesting that Rina was like fine with it, that she wasn't making a big deal out of the interest, you know? The two newcomers must have been in an extremely vulnerable position. They bowed so deeply that their foreheads almost touched the table. Oh, man. Well, you could pity them. The newcomers looked as vulgar as the man threatening them, making it hard to decide whether you should feel sorry for them or not. After a while, Ritsuko opened her mouth as if to offer them help.
Te-chan?
There he fucking is. Teppei, Teppei, Teppei. Teppei, Teppei, Teppei. I hate him so much, and I guess that's just, like, obviously, right? Has anyone who has ever played this game not hated Teppei? Is there literally anything about Teppei where you could think, like, oh, he's not really that bad? You know, is there any possible way that, you know, like, unless you really just, I don't know. That's, like, he is the only character that I just feel like is, yeah, he's horrible, right? I don't know how I could possibly have any other opinion about him, you know? I see, man. Like, he is worse than anyone else, right? Like, I cannot imagine any possible character in the story, no matter what, being worse than... The mastermind behind everything, right, is not worse than Teppei, right? Like, I mean, come on. My guy, huh?
ゼに絡むと余計だね。お前にあやつけよったんから本気になっとんよ、おら。
God.
もうバカなこと言っても何にも出ないわよ。
The man pulled Ritsuko roughly into his arms and frantically kissed her lips without caring about the other customers. Right. Their kiss wasn't like the lovely ones that normal couples would share. It looked obscene instead. He let her lips go on to take a breath, kissed them again, and repeated that for a while. After a while, he finally got bored of kissing and let her go.
うちの人は私のことになるとすぐ頭に血が上っちゃうのよね。困ったもんなのよ。
ああ、そうよ。こいつと俺はいわば一心同体ね。
Oh, God.
この女に泥塗り腐るやつは俺に塗ったんと同じやんな。血祭りじゃすまんね。
And yet, he doesn't really seem too torn up when she gets murdered in Chapter 3. Right.
いつぞやかの、ほら、あいつ。
I guess we still don't really know. The cops and Oishi and everyone said that her murder was related to the Sonozakis and everything, right? But unclear, I don't know.
表連れてってからどうしたんだったっけ?
Maybe Teppei killed her for fun. Like, it seems like the kind of thing he'd do, right?
あんバカが表出るとか抜かしょんから。
Oh god, I'm just thinking, like, how is Rena gonna react to all of this, right? How is Rena, like... Oh, man.
やろう、空手やるとか抜かしおるからどの程度か思うたん。ちょっと芝居たら即土下座やん。
Great.
拍子抜けしたからズボン脱がせて、そいつでこの表の歩道を磨かせてやったわ。
Awesome.
おお。
Yeah, you're really great, Teppei. Thank you. Uh-huh.
やだ、そんなことさせたの？あんたって時々容赦がないのよね。
They started laughing loudly, like they were doing earlier. Their laughter obviously intimidated their companions.
ねえ、あんたたち。てっちゃん、今日はね、すっごく機嫌がいいの。
This is him in a good mood,
普段だ
huh?
ったら銭が足りんって騒ぎ出して。今頃あんたたちすっぱだかにされて玉子川に叩き込まれてるわよ。
Fantastic.
すまへん。まあ、利子は忘れたちゅうたかて、かっちりキースマに額を揃えたんだきゃ。
How much is the interest exactly?
評価したってもええんで。
それでね、てっちゃんの利子
Oh god.
ちょいとあんまりだと思ったのよ。
500%.
今日だから5本で済むけど、すぐに売買
Oh,
ゲームになっちゃうでしょ。
Sure. Oh god. It doubles every single day. 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, 106. They're just owe him all of the money in the world by tomorrow.
そしたらあんたたち
By a
すぐ
week from
に
now.
逆立ちしても払えなくなっちゃうわよ。
Yeah.
でね、私あんたたちにいい話があんの。てっちゃん、悪いけどあんたちょっと席を外してちょうだい。
A deal, huh?
しょうがねえな。
Interesting. The man left the table with a grin and headed for the bathroom. He was far too amenable to that request, as if they'd planned for him to leave the table at that moment. Ritsuko made sure he was in the bathroom, then took some papers out of her bag and spread them on the table.
あんたたちも若いんだから、あんなヤクザに絡まれて一生を不意にしたくないでしょ。
It's like they're trying to make it seem like they're giving them some kind of deal, right? I wonder.
だからね、てっちゃんの利子は今日きっちり払っちゃいなさい。そうすればあんたたちはとりあえずあいつとは縁を切れるわけなんだから。
Okay.
そりゃそうですけど、でも50万なんてこれ以上もう払えないっす。
まあそうよね。200万だって相当精一杯集めたんでしょ。
Oh, it's not 5% and then 10%. It's they have to pay 500,000 and then okay, great.
さらに50万も工面できる当てなんてないでしょう。
They must have done their very best to collect even the money they brought today. So, it must be impossible for them to collect even a dime from anybody now. They hung their heads and told her that.
でね、ほら、気を利かせて私が書いてきてあげたのよ。
What is it? The guys looked at the paper on the table and muttered under their
担
breaths.
保も連帯もいらないんで、ちょいと利率はあれだけど、
Okay.
これなら即50万積んでくれるわよ。それにさ、この利率でもてっちゃんの利率よりははるかにマシだと思うんだけど、
Interesting.
どう思うかしら。
It would be easy for anyone to guess what Ritsuko was trying to force them to
これ
do.
にサインしたのを見せれ
Yeah.
ば、彼も男気を感じて勘弁してくれると思うわね。どうする？あ、万年筆。使うなら置いとくわ
I'm
ね。
trying to make it seem like they're getting a deal. Yeah. They read the small print on the documents and were stunned by the outrageous interest rate. Ritsuko didn't force them to do anything. She just looked out the window and smoked her cigarette. After a while, the man returned from the bathroom.
おう、話はついたが。
They looked at him, steeled themselves, and took the pen.
てっちゃんの利子、借金で一括返済するって。
I see. Just getting people trapped like this in this debt.
だね。男は背負うもんがなくちゃあかんね。
They must have planned this from the very beginning. The man and Ritsuko got what they wanted and grinned at each other. There were many things to fill out on the documents, and it was taking them a long time. The man and Ritsuko, already knowing that, started talking amongst
リ
themselves.
ツコ、お前のひなみさんの旦那
God.
の調子はどうなんね。
Yeah. What is she gonna say? Like, what is she getting out of it? Just like money, maybe? Right? Just like, you know.
ん？旦那なんてよしてよね。
どうなんよ。
Oh.
だいぶ銭持っとんと聞かされてるん。どのぐらい絞れそうなの
Yeah, that's what it's all about, huh?
そうそう、それがさ、すっごいのよ。別れた奥さんがだいぶ慰謝料をくれたらしいってのを聞い
makes
てたの
sense.
よ。
Makes sense, yeah.
でもね、それが本当に
I'm
すっ
sure.
げえあるらしいのよね。
I'm sure she must have. I wonder in, like, divorce proceedings like that, how much of a factor that plays, right? Because she really, like, ruined his life, right? She made him give up his job, move to a completely different city where he was unable to use his talents and everything he'd done for his career, right? I don't know if any amount of money that she could have given him would make up for all of that, you know? But I hope that, like, the judge or something, like, takes that into account with the amount that she has to give, you know?
かなりってどのぐらいねん。
銀行に5000万くらい持ってるわよ。
God.
あぶく銭なわけだしね。
Yeah.
もう気前がいいのなんのって。
なんねそれ。で、 どの辺まで行けそうなんね。
Ooh, God, I'm really worried about what Rena is gonna do.
私にだいぶお熱みたいだからね。だって私が言えば何でも買うのよ。何でも。あんたみたいなドケチとは大違いよね。
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is Rena gonna do? Oh, no. Rena, we can't kill her. Rena, we can't kill her. We can't do that. We really can't do that. I don't think this crosses the bar of, yeah, we should kill her, right? I'm terrified. I'm terrified.
私も本気になっちゃおうかしら。
抜かせボケ。俺以上の男が他にいるか。
Awesome.
もうこんなところでよしってよ。
で、そのひなみ沢の旦那にどう持ってくつもりなんよ。
あんたを出しに手切れ金がいるって方向に持ってくつもりなのよ。
なんぼふっかけるつもりね。
What money would you? Why do you need money to get rid of your ex-boyfriend? Like, what does that even mean? Like, here, I'll give you 1,000,000 yen if you leave me alone. Like, if I was the ex-boyfriend, I would just take the money and keep bothering her. Right? Like, come on, God.
そりゃ。
つっけずが恐ろしい女じゃんね。
Oh
い
man.
るときは呼んでな。俺も大暴れしちゃるんで。
Sure, sure.
すみません。書きました。
God, his voice.
ああ。じゃ、それ持ってローン行こうか。律子、会計頼むね。
The man pat them on their shoulders, then walked to the door. Another person was just about to enter, and they nearly ran into each other. The man probably wouldn't make way for the person, considering his personality. But when he noticed who that person was, he stepped aside. Oishi! Ah, damn it. This would have been the only time in my entire life I would be happy to see Oishi show up, right? Like, this could have been it, right? This could have been, we could have done it. We could have done it for the first time ever. I would have cheered for Oishi to show up right now, for the first time ever, instead of groaning loudly, but of course not, right? Oishi can never meet my expectations, right? I mean, it's good, it's good that it's Kasai, right? That's his name, right? I'm not crazy, I'm not forgetting his name. Pretty sure, right? Hope so. Hope I'm not forgetting his name. That would suck. That'd be embarrassing. If I was forgetting his name, huh? I hope not. Hope I'm not forgetting it. Yeah, Kasai. Yeah. Okay. The person looked as vulgar as all the other men. He is more than a... Man, he is a match for Teppei, I hope. He was wearing a black suit with sunglasses on. He wasn't that big, but his stern look was very intimidating. It was clear at a glance that he was a gangster, and a professional one at that. Okay. This is a connection to the Sonozaki stuff, which, like, in Chapter 3, Rina got murdered for. So, yeah. The man who was behaving badly earlier looked a little nervous in front of him. As Ritsuko finished paying the check, she noticed the man in the suit. General Manager.
どうも、おはようございます。
Ooh, the man in the suit said nothing. He just raised his chin as if saying, fuck off. Ritsuko and the others bowed to him and left the shop in a hurry. The proprietor noticed the man in the suit, also greeting him with a bow. Who could he have been? He appeared sedate compared to the other men, but he must also be dangerous, because he made even them step aside. Everybody in the shop thought the same thing and tried not to look at him. The man in the suit looked around and found the menu on the wall. The proprietor walked up to him hesitantly.
Master. はい。何か部長報がございましたでしょうか。この日替わりデザートのスイートなんとかというのは今日はやっているのか。
It's something for Shion, I'm sure.
いえ、本当は今日はやってないんですが、そのどうしてもとおっしゃるんでしたら特別にご用意を。
I see, I
無理
see.
なら無理と言ってくれればいい。出直す。
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Shion.
特別にご用意って言ってくれてるじゃないですか。
Thank God. Thank God.
ここまで来てみっともない。
The girl seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the heavy atmosphere in the shop. She's just used to it, and came in laughing cheerfully. It was Mion Sonozaki's twin sister, Shion. Oh, I love her. Oh man, Shion pushed Kasai into the store while he hesitated. She looked at a girl who was sitting down and stopped in her tracks.
あれ？やっぱりそうだ。ハロロ
Indeed.
レナさんじゃないですか。こんにちは。
It's so interesting that we didn't get to be in Rena's head for this whole scene, right? That we're now in some unknown third-person narrator type situation, right? Because hearing Rena's thoughts during all of that would be very interesting.
あ、しーちゃん。
こんなとこで会うなんてびっくりです。
This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. I doubt for even a second though that Rena's gonna talk to Shion about anything meaningful though, right? Like no way. It would be all I would want in the world though. Like oh god.
あれ？お一人？ひょっとして誰かと待ち合わせ？
Yeah, Keiichi.
お姉かな？いやいや、ひょっとしてケイちゃんかな？
しーちゃん、その連れの人は？
He's nothing. Don't worry about him.
葛西のこと？
In my notes, when I first saw Kasai, I have it written down, Kasai, Shion's minion. So, he's Shion's minion, right? From the first time we saw him, like back in chapter 2.
まあ、私のボディーガードとか思っといてください。命の危険が迫ったら、葛西が守ってくれるんだよね。
Naturally,
そ
of
れがお
course.
望みでしたら命に変えてでも。
うわー、葛西、あと20も若かったらやばいかもだね。
Don't say that.
顔は怖いけど面白いやつです。
He sure
こち
is.
らはね、竜宮レナさん、お姉のお友達。
葛西です。よろしく。
葛西さん、さっきすれ違った人たちは知り合いですか？
Yeah. Kasai nodded, indicating that he was familiar with them.
誰？私は全然あんなの見たことないけど。
男は北条哲平。
Oh, and oh god, yeah. What is Rena gonna think about knowing that that is a Hojo Tepe, right? Like
ちょいと礼儀知らずのろくでなしです。
skunk of a human being. No kidding. Shion seemed to know who he was once she heard the name Hojo. Oh god, and Shion too, right? Oh gee, we have the strike team like assembled here. Like, let's just kill Tepe again. Let's kill Tepe again for fun, right? It wouldn't solve anything or matter or do anything at all, right? But let's hunt him down and kill him. Like, you know, like why not, right?
女の人の方は？
間宮里奈。源氏名だと思いました。
Ooh, her business
確か
name.
律子って名前だったかと。
I see.
フラワーロードの店の。
葛西さ
Sorry,
ん、
I skipped this line.
リナさんとその北条さんはどういう人たちなんですか？
Oh yeah.
とても仲が良さそうに見えました。
It's well,
北
they
条は
sure
確か
are.
里奈とは深い仲かと。
Yeah.
たちの悪い連中ですので、関わり合いになられない方がいいと思います。
Very, very bad
ど
people.
うたちが悪いんですか？
Rena pressed him for the answer, and Kasai seemed to back down a little from that pressure.
女の私生活には触れないのが仁義ってもんです。
Ooh.
どうたちが悪いんですか？
Oh.
それはご勘弁を。
どうたちが悪いんですか？
Oh. Rena kept asking the same question until she got an answer. Shion sensed how desperate Rena was and cut into the conversation.
葛西、意地悪しないで教えてあげなさいよ。興味本位で聞いてるわけじゃなさそうだしさ。
Yeah.
ね、レナさん。
There was tension developing between Rena and Kasai. Shion seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the mood. I mean, Rena could easily beat the shit out of Kasai, right? Like, come on, she can stand up to him. Kasai finally opened his mouth.
あの二人はたちの悪いろくでなしども
Oh
です。
god, this music. Germination of discomfort. Right. What a good name.
恐喝と博打で生計を立ててると聞いています。
Great.
詐欺行為もやるって話で。
Badger games?
詐欺ってどんな？
あいつらの詐欺ってのは、まあ何？結婚詐欺ってやつ
Marriage
ですか？
fraud, yeah.
要するに男の人に言い寄っていい感じになったところ
Oh,
で
God.
相棒の男が乱入して俺の女に何しやがるって金を巻き上げる古典的恐喝です。
Oh god.
散々貢がされた挙句根こそぎ巻き上げようっていうクズどもです。最近でかい相手を引っ掛けたらしいと噂になっています。
Indeed.
じゃあそりゃあどちら
Oh
さんか
god.
存じ
Oh
ないけ
no.
ど
Oh
気の
no.
毒なことで
Oh no. I am
でもまあ
terrified.
鼻の下を伸ばした代償なわけだし 自業自得?
Gets what he deserves. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, right? Because Rena's way of thinking about this is very like, you know, there's enemies that show up to ruin your life, and that's it. And these people must be those, right? Rena's gonna kill them. Rena's gonna kill Rina. Like.
男は時にコロッと女に騙されちまうもんですよ。
He would know.
ほー。何それ。葛西をコロッと騙した
Yeah,
女って
yeah, you don't gotta bring it up. It's a
マスター、
sore
デ
subject.
ザー
Like,
ト
come
は
on.
私と葛西と、あとレナさんで。
Oh, she just left. Oh, she just left.
今お帰りになりましたよ。
Oh no. Rena was already gone. The door, which had just closed, looked as if it was the only thing that knew where she went. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. I am terrified. I am scared. I am not, there is very much a sinking feeling in my stomach right now. When I got home, the door was locked. I used my key to get in and found a note in the living room. Something's come up, so I have to go. I'm going to eat out tonight, is what the note said. This wasn't the first time he'd done something like this. Each time, he only told me he had to go to Okonomiya for something. But I knew the real reason, because I heard him talking on the phone once. Like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna try and convince him? But like, how would he react? How would her father react if Rena tries to tell him all the stuff that she learned about Rina, right? Oh, God. Rina-san must have had some free time between jobs and asked them out to have dinner together. I heaved a sigh, looked at the new living room I hated, and went to my room. Ugh. I thought back over what I just heard at the coffee house. I tried to rationalize the meaning of her actions there. Maybe she had to pretend to be a bad person because she was being threatened by that man. But even after the man she called Techan left the table, she continued to threaten the guys and pushed them into signing the loan contract immediately. If she was threatened to play along with the man, she wouldn't have done that. If she was pretending to be a bad person, she could have shown a little bit of mercy or sympathy when he left her alone with them. It's like holding a water bottle. It's like holding water in a bowl you made with your hands. No matter how sturdy you make the bowl, the water would leak from your fingers. Mercy and sympathy leak out from you. But nothing, not even a drop of water, leaked from Rina-san. Oh, God. Her hands weren't even moist. They were all dried up. There's no water that could leak through those hands. Rina-san was threatening those guys as much as the man was. Neither was leading the other along. They were doing it together. That was it. Rina-san is a bad person. Oh, my brain cells accepted the idea with applause. After all, I always hated Rina-san. I just couldn't accept the feeling, because my father liked her. But, at that moment, I could finally accept it. She's a bad person, just like my mother. And that must be the problem. That must be the problem with everything, right? It hasn't been Rina all along. It's been Rina ruining everything, right? But then, like, what do we do? She's an existence that will ruin everything and destroy my father's happiness just by being with him. But I wonder if my father would understand that Rina-san is a bad person if I told him so. My father likes her so much that he would jump over a cliff if she asked him to. He thinks everything she does or says is great, and he interprets everything about her in a positive way. He protects her and praises her without being asked to. Yeah, like if Rina tried to tell him what was up with Rina, Rina would just spin it as like, oh yeah, I'm being threatened by Teppei, and I have to, you know, like I don't have a choice, and it's, you know, I actually do love you and all this, and then like the scheme would just play out the way that they want it to. So, man, I'm not a kid anymore. I understand how a woman can tame a man. It's different from love. Love is about trying to build a relationship. Taming is just a way of satisfying the lust to dominate. She's just trying to make him into her slave. Women can deceive men, even my father. They can use dirty methods to ensnare men like they're following a manual. She has such a horrible, negative view of relationships and all of this, right? Like, God. It's the weak point all men are born with. Even with a strong will, they can't resist it. That's why we hate those women who exploit the weak point to deceive men. That's why I couldn't bring myself to like Rina-san. For the sake of argument, let's assume I acknowledged an unreciprocated love of like that. But that would only be as long as it was love. If it wasn't love, if it was just a method to threaten and squeeze money out of him, I would never forgive her. I remember the conversation at the coffee house. Rina-san said that my father is a big spender. In fact, I think he spends more money without hesitation before he met Rina-san. I was happy that he started to regain an interest in going out into the world again, but now I don't know whether I should be happy or not. He controls the money of the Ryugu family overall, but since I do the grocery shopping, he often gives me his bank book so that I can withdraw money. Because of that, I know where he keeps his bank book, his personal seal, and other important stuff. They're in one of his drawers, which he usually locks. I know where he hides the key, and I know the combination of the catch box inside the drawer. He might be coming back soon, so I felt a little nervous. What is she... Just check how much money they have left, I guess? I opened the cash box, which had some bank books, personal seals, stamps, and unused postcards. I removed everything from the cash box to get at the bank books. Then, I found something new. On the bottom of the box, there was a bundle of new 10,000 yen bills. Its thickness wasn't something I could ignore. There's also a paper wrapper that looked like it had been bundling the bills. The wrapper had a stamp that said it was a bundle of 1,000,000 yen. He usually kept some cash at home because it was troublesome to go to the bank every time he needed money. But it was usually around 100,000 to 200,000 yen at most. He's never kept such a big amount of money at home before, because he knows it's unsafe. The extraordinary amount of 10,000 yen bills was abnormally intimidating. Yeah, he had to withdraw it for something, right? I tried to open the bank book, but my fingers got numb all of a sudden. A part of me was trying to deny the things I heard at the coffee house. It wasn't because I wanted to defend my father, or even Rina-san. It was because I didn't want to believe my father was the husband in Hinamizawa the blackmailers were talking about. Oh, I opened the bank book. The last time I saw it was about 2 or 3 months ago. It showed countless withdrawals since that day. I probably wouldn't normally understand what those numbers meant, but I felt in that moment as if the 10 different digits were speaking to me. They were a series of cruel digits. It starts with some understandable expenses that I assume represent dinners or something. But then, the amount of money starts to become nice round numbers, like 5 or a 10. I can tell by looking at the dates he withdrew money that he might have a certain amount of cash on hand when he went out with Reina-san. Among those expenses, a big number appeared all of a sudden. It was too much money to spend on a date, hundreds of thousands of yen for all the furniture and stuff, maybe? I looked at the date of the withdrawal and traced it back in my memory. I remembered. Around that time, Rina-san was talking about moving into a new apartment. I knew the market rate of rental apartments in Okonomiya. You need to put down 2 safety deposits and 2 payments of key money in order to rent an apartment. Ah, man, that amount of withdrawal sounded reasonable now. He paid the whole down payment for a new apartment. After that, big numbers appeared one after another. I could tell they were for congratulatory gifts for a new apartment or something. The numbers got bigger and bigger. It looked like at first he was withdrawing only the amount of money he needed, but then he started withdrawing big amounts all at once because he knew he was going to use it someday anyway. The change meant only one thing. He lost his sense of the value of money. The balance kept going down. I started feeling anxious about what's going to happen if he continued spending money like that. But then I saw a deposit of a big amount of money into the accounts. Where did that money come from? There's only one thing I could think of. I opened the other bank book. It was easy, like a puzzle for kids. It was like playing with an easy jigsaw puzzle that comes with huge pieces that you don't even have to put together to see what the whole picture looks like. My father was using money from his time deposits. Oh, God. In other words, the settlement my mother paid my father when she divorced him. To him, it's cursed money. I'd understand if he wanted to use it to get a new love, but that was just an excuse to use the money from his time deposits. Money is money. Even though it's his divorce alimony, it's still important money for a future. Even though it's cursed money to him, that doesn't mean he can waste it. Big expenses start appearing one after another. There are many expenses, upwards of 6 digits. For some reason, I could immediately tell they were buying electric appliances and furnitures. He must have been buying everything she asked him to. If, from the beginning, Rina-san was only seeing to check if he could end up being a big catch, she must have been trying to find out how much money she could squeeze out of him. And my father bought her anything she wanted, no matter how expensive it was. So, she probably thinks of him as the perfect catch now. The numbers in the bank book told me so. The simple numbers and dates on the bank book had started talking to me. Around the time he started withdrawing big amounts of money, Rina-san started coming to the house more often, and she also started spending the night. To Rina-san, my father was at first just a guy who spends big money. But around that time, she landed her big catch. My father used to refer to her as my friend in Okonomiya at first, but he started referring to her as Rina-san around that time. This is partially his fault. He was betrayed by his beloved wife, and he was feeling hurt and down for a long time. It's also partially my fault. Not at all. That's why I didn't want to blame him. And he's not that good looking either. There's no way he's immune to women. He must have not been able to resist an attractive lady who aggressively approached him when he was feeling down. He's crazy about Rina-san, and he can see nothing other than her. I can't blame him, because Rina-san trained him to be that way. I put the bank books and the other things back into the cash box. This cash box is just like my father's heart. Rina-san is eating up the contents. Oh god, oh god. And money for Rina, I feel like it has to have like such a weird, I don't know, right? Because money was such a thing between like her mother and like Akihito and all of that, right? How her mother, it felt like she was like trying to buy Rina's affection, you know? So I wonder how like Rina feels about all of that, you know? What should I do? Think, Rina Ryugu. Should I tell him about Rina-san's scheme? No, that probably wouldn't do anything. Yeah, I agree. The whole point of taming an animal is that it won't run away from its owner, even when the door is wide open. My father probably won't leave his cage, even if I open the door. Should I confront Rina-san about her plot when he's with her? The results would be the same. Rina-san would run behind his back. He'd probably try to protect her. If she pressed her breasts against his back, he'd protect her no matter what. I couldn't make this a problem between me and him. First of all, I was trying to get rid of Rina-san for his sake. If we got mad at each other, it would give the advantage to Rina-san. It would be like I was putting myself into her trap. Then, that meant I couldn't make him do anything. If I couldn't make him break up with Rina-san, I'd have to talk to Rina-san directly. So, instead of making my father fight, I'd have to fight in his place. Oh god, but how? That guy, Kasai-san, who was with Shi-chan today, seemed to know the man Rina-san was with. I wonder if I can somehow meet him again. He looked scary, but I was introduced to him as a friend of Mi-chan. Mi-chan has a lot of power around here. There's no way he would treat me badly. I wondered if he could tell Rina-san and the man to back off from my father. That'd help a lot. I doubt it. I don't know why he would help, right? But I didn't know how I could meet him again. I could ask Mi-chan for help, but I don't want her to know about my situation. I wonder what was different in Chapter 3 that led to Rina's murder, right? What was different about the situation between her and the Sonozakis and everything then versus the situation now, right? This is a problem of the Ryugu family. This is nobody's business but mine. Yeah, this is a battle that I'd have to fight alone. I regretted my parents' divorce. I wept about the tragedy I could have prevented if I had tried. But I wasn't going to weep this time. Oh, it's like an opportunity for her to like make up for that in her mind, you know? Well, it's such a horrible way to think of it, but like, yeah. I wasn't going to let the chance slip by. This time, I would fight for my happiness. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Rena. I'm terrified. Oh, man. Property estimate. Oh, property estimate, huh? Oh, God. Dear Ritsuko Mamiya-sama, Executive Housing Corporation. Attached estimate. We thank you for your past visits and inquiries to our office. We've included the estimate for the property you inquired about. Basic information. Property name, Palace of Versailles, room 707. Property code, 14M1421. Thank you. Property type, modern condominium. Layout, 2LDK. Address, Shishibun City, Toiwacho to Chome, I don't know. Transportation, XXX line, Gogoro Station, 5 minutes on foot. Cost, 49,800,000 yen. That has to be expensive as hell for a condo back in 1980s. That has to be so expensive, doesn't it? Like, that's so much money, isn't it? Like, god damn. Maintenance fee, 20,000. Like, that would be expensive for like a condo today, wouldn't it? Like Japan average condo cost. Am I gonna find anything from that? Probably not. Probably not, right? The average condo price climbed blah 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 65.56 million yen per unit in 2025, and this is 40 years ago, and it costs pretty close to that amount. Other, southeast corner room, elevator floor. Condominium fitness club membership included. How nice, how nice. Thank you for your interest in this property. The area around Gogoro Station is a prime real estate zone for luxury condominiums. Along with future planned developments, the real estate values in and around Gogoro Station are expected to rise, and this property is not an exception. As a result, many prospective buyers are interested in this property. Hence, we'd like for you to understand that the selection process for this property will be done via lottery. Ooh, interesting. Also, we offer celebrity member preferential treatment, granting highly improved chances through additional lottery entries. I wonder, did she even get it, or did she just did he just give her all of this money as a for the down payment on this property that she just didn't even get? Please feel free to inquire with our agents for more details. Executive Housing Corporation. Celebrity account manager Kawabata. But would she qualify for the celebrity stuff? Like I don't know, maybe. Okay, well, this unfortunately was kind of a shorter one, but I'm doing too much stuff. We're too busy. I feel bad, because I want to do more Higurashi. And I've said this at the end of every single one, that I wish I could do more and make these longer, but I'm uploading every single day, and this, because this falls on, like, the day that I upload another ReZero as well, it's like I'm always exhausted. I'm always exhausted, you know? So, we'll see. Maybe I can switch the schedule around more. And try and, you know, the problem is, no matter what I do, because I'm doing 8 things at once right now, right? I'm uploading 8 videos a week. If I want to try and move Higurashi somewhere else, well, no matter what, I'm going to be, unless I moved something else to Saturday and change the day that Higurashi is on, or something, right? Then Higurashi can have its own day. I'd have more time to do more of it. The only reason I want to do more of it is just because it's so fucking long, that if I keep only doing one subchapter a video, we're not going to be done with Higurashi till the end of the year at this rate, right? Which is, like, ridiculous, you know? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we get it done. But that is all for today. I feel so bad for Rena. God, I feel so bad for her. Especially the fact that she's, like, the 14 years old or whatever, right? It's so sad that she feels like this about herself. And she has all these thoughts. And, oh, God. She needs to talk to someone. God. Okay. That's it. So if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.